Welcome to another episode of Hard Revelations, Confessions. Today's topic is going to be about Tupac. There's only one artist that stands out, and his name is Tupac Shakur. The reason why he stand out to me is because I can relate into everything he talked about in his music. And also too, you know, as a black man, I've been through a lot of struggles in my life. I've been through poverty. I've been through injustice. I've been through police brutality, and through his music, Tupac touched me. And at a time when I was listening to his music, I went through a lot of things, and I had a whole bunch of pain and anxiety build up in my spirit. And I'd be like, how can I get this out? So basically, I started writing music. By listening to Tupac music, he basically inspired me to write music because I thought when you are a hip hop artist, I thought it would be hard. But by listening to Tupac just been real. He just was honest with his words. And that's how he reached people. And that's how he inspired many other people. See, Tupac wasn't no thug. Tupac was an activist. You know what I'm saying? As you listen to Tupac music, he talk about, you know, the injustice he went through. He talk about, you know, um, betrayal. He talk about poverty. He talk about education. And he talk about many other things. You know what I'm saying? And when he said all those things, he basically, teaches people and lit by spirit, and he gave us hope, and he showed us the way, you know, out of trials and tribulations on whenever we might go through in life. You know what I'm saying? But you know, before I even heard of Tupac, I didn't really know really who he was. I saw a couple movies like when I was growing up. I looked at Above the Rim. I looked at Poetic Justice, and also I looked at Juice. And I saw in the movies how he portrayed himself. He portrayed himself as a gangster, as a thug, but that's not who he really was. He was a loving person. He really cared about his people. He gave back to his community. You know what I'm saying? And he uplift his people. See, when I was looking at the movie All Eyes on Me, it was a okay movie, but basically they just talk about the drama of Tupac. You know, him having a lot of women. The beef between him and Biggie. His life was more than that. His life was more than that. And also, after they put out the movie, is one thing that I got upset with all them people who knew Tupac that came out with stories about different things in his life that we never even knew about. But it showed me that it was all about money. It's not on protecting Tupac's legacy. It's all about money, and Tupac had a great work ethic. He was about getting his message out, getting his music out. You know, he was prophetic. You know, he wasn't a coward. He had courage. You know what I'm saying? He fought for his people, and um, I know all of you heard the story about when Tupac was in Atlanta, and he saw two off-duty white police, and he saw them two white off-duty police beat up on a black man, and Tupac stopped in his car, got out, and Tupac tried to interfere. So they didn't listen, and Tupac put out his gun and he shot at the two white police. So I don't think that nobody in the history would have the courage to do that to protect their own brother or sister. And plus, Tupac, he was a Black Panther. So you know, the FBI had to watch Tupac. You know, they probably watched him ever since he was young until he got older. Because if you was a Panther, you was a threat. Because they didn't like how Tupac spoke truth. So you have to be very careful when you are a powerful person and you're trying to lift your community up, trying to give back to your community. But the higher ups, they don't want that. You know, they want chaos and they want destruction. They want us to be blind. So you have to be very careful because when you are outspoken, you know, people will fear you. So in order to get you out of the picture, in order to slow you down from uplifting the people, they will send many distractions in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like you will have a lot of informants around you. You will have people that try to set you up. You will have people that snitch on you to the government, and they will tell everything that you're doing and everything you are saying. So you have to be very careful. So basically, you have to have a small circle of friends, people that you can trust. You know, you just can't let anybody in your circle. You know what I'm saying? Because they can be your demise, they can be your downfall as well. And I look on social media and I hear that so many people call Tupac a hypocrite. So many people call Tupac a devil. But don't forget that Tupac is just a man. He make mistakes just like we do. All of us has a good side and a bad side. Tupac said that he's nobody's role model. He don't ask people to jock him. The reason why so many people out here look up to Tupac is because to some people, Tupac was the savior. He was the one that exposed the powers that be. He was the one that confessed his fault and brought it to the surface. That's why so many people look up to Tupac for inspiration, strength, and being encouraged through his message from his music. But, you know, in this world, you know, some of us are lost. We're looking for that hope. And understand there's hope around us, but we don't acknowledge it. That hope is Jesus. Jesus want us to give ourselves to him. He want us to dedicate ourselves to him. But we don't really acknowledge him. We give ourselves to these idols. And also too, don't try to change your character and being someone that you're not. It's just like me. You know, I'm smart, I'm intelligent, I'm not no gangster, but I'm masculine, I'm a man. I'm supposed to be strong. If I bleed, I'm not gonna cry, I'm gonna get back up and I'm gonna fight. Even if my life depends on it, and I'm gonna be real, I'm gonna speak the truth. I'm not gonna try to fit in and be something I'm not. You know what I'm saying? And another thing too, in life, we feel that we're trapped. Don't matter if you've been to jail or in a bad relationship, how we can get ourselves out of that situation is just being honest. You know, with being honest, you can break free. You can be set free and you can be at peace with yourself. In my spirit, as a Tupac fan, you can check it out on my YouTube channel. I created a Tupac series. It's like a little short mini series. It's called Tupac: The Art of War. So the series is about, what if Tupac was alive? What if he would have survived the 96 shooting in Las Vegas? How would his life be? So basically, I explored that what if, and I'm very proud of the project because the project came out to be good. I took my time, I did my research, you know what I'm saying? So I ask if you are a big Tupac fan. I hope that you will go to my YouTube channel and check out the series because it's a really good, interesting series to check out. From a fan